Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Corruption watchdog CIA files corruption case against one company and 11 individuals, including Chief Secretary Vaikunta Aryal, alleging of irregularities in the printing of excise duty stickers. Nepali Congress claims Home Minister Lamechhane is performing a publicity stunt instead of carrying out works on extradition of GB Rai, says efforts are being made to let Rai escape. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, heading to Washington, says he will hold talks on the next phase of the Gaza war and escalating hostilities on the border with Lebanon. And Afghanistan shock Australia with a 21-run victory. Rahmanullah Gurba shines with a bat. All 4 teams in the group have chances of reaching the semi-final. Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority CIA has filed corruption case against one company and 11 individuals, including incumbent Chief Secretary Vaikunta Aryal. Anti-corruption watchdog CIA filed a case at the special court alleging Aryal of irregularities in printing of excise duty stickers during his tenure as the Secretary of the Ministry of Communication. The anti-graft body filed a case against others alleging them of irregularities and damaging assets of a public institution. The anti-corruption watchdog decided to file case against 11 individuals, including Aryal and Print Cell Company, alleging them of being guilty. The case also includes charges against incumbent joint secretaries, undersecretary and section officer. CIA has filed case against incumbent joint secretaries Ritesh Shakya, who is working at the Budget Division, and Tanka Pandey, working at the Department of Customs. Cases were also filed against Undersecretary Ganesh Bikram Shah and Section Officer Rabindra Podel. Likewise, the anti-graft body has also made Bikal Podel, Safal Shrestha, Hari Ballav Ghimire, Shakti Prasad Shrestha, Keshav Sharma and Badri Gautam as defendants. The CIA has demanded for a deposit of 386.7 million rupees from all the defendants. The Security Printing Center under the Ministry of Communication on 20th of September 2022 had requested tender for the printing of excise duty stickers for Inland Revenue Department. An agreement was reached between Print Cell Private Limited and the Centre on 12th of December 2022 to print 430 million excise duty stickers at the rate of 89 paisa per sticker. With this, the cost for the printing comes out to be 385.548 million rupees. However, prior to this, the rate for printing the excise duty stickers was a maximum of 25 paisa per sticker, whose cost comes out to be only 10.83 million rupees. Agreement was made for Print Cell to only buy the paper and ink for the stickers. The remaining printing works would be carried out by the centre as per the agreement. However, the contract with unnatural amount was handed to Print Cell. Main opposition Nepali Congress has alleged Home Minister Ravi Lamechhane of displaying more stunts than doing the real work for the extradition of GB Rai, who has been alleged of mishandling cooperatives' money. Speaking during a special hour, in fact, of today's session of the House of Representatives, Nepali Congress General Secretary Bishwa Prakash Sharma questioned if the Home Minister really wanted to arrest Rai or buy time for him to escape. A few days ago, Minister Lamechhane had shared a confidential information saying he knew of Rai's whereabouts in Malaysia.
सहकारी ठगीमा फरार भएको व्यावसायिक साथीलाई सहकारी ठगीमै अनुसन्धानको दायरामा रहेका गृहमन्त्रीजीले गिरफ्तार गर्नु छ। त्यसैले लोकेसन पत्ता लागिसक्यो भनेर माइकबाटै फुक्नुको अर्थ के हुन्छ? अभियुक्त पक्रिने के यो नयाँ शैली हो? केटाकेटीपन हो या भगाउने नियत हो? सभामुख महोदय, दोस्रो चाहिँ देशलाई जीबीको लोकेसन चाहिएको होइन, देशलाई जीबी राई चाहिएको हो। अब त्यो लोकेसनमा गेट बनाएर कार्पेट ओछ्याएर अनि बल्ल द्विपक्षीय वार्ता हुने हो। सभामुख महोदय, म आज सभामुख महोदय मार्फत यो प्रश्न गर्न चाहन्छु।
Sharma also opined that the government's works in finding Rai had not been effective, as Home Minister Ravi Lamechhane was himself personally associated with him. He also said there was no truth behind the logic that arresting Rai was being delayed due to lack of extradition treaties between Nepal and Malaysia. He also mentioned of an example in the past where a fugitive was brought back home from Malaysia. CPN-UMO's Chief Whip Mahesh Bortola during the emergency hour protested, saying that the Parsa National Park officials had been causing a ruckus in Makwanpur region and added that there had been a murder. Other lawmakers demanded the government's attention towards victims of the Chure exploitation and urged the government against cutting down on the financial equalization grant and to address the demands of the protesting parliament officials. The government has formed a 3-member committee under the coordination of Minister of Law, Justice and Federal Affairs Padam Giri to address the issues raised by protesting officials of the federal parliament. The decision was taken following a meeting this morning at the Prime Minister's official residence in Baluatar. The committee includes Finance Secretary Madhu Kumar Marasini and General Secretary at the Federal Parliament Padma Prasad Pandya. Parliament officials have been staging protests with 11-point demand, including their overtime payments. Their previous blackout had affected the session of the Parliament. Others of their demands include allowances, residential allowance and education allowance. They have been staging protests since 12th of June and have clarified their protest will continue until the government strikes a written agreement with them. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what's your take on the trend of appointing and recalling ambassadors, neglecting their experience and expertise? Your options are A. Negligence in diplomacy, B. Negative effect of power sharing, and C. Compulsion due to alliance. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Sindhuli police have confiscated 615 kilograms of marijuana from Chisapani of Hariharpurgadi rural municipality. Police raided the place following a tip-off as they discovered marijuana stored in sacks and drums. This was the largest scale of marijuana the Sindhuli police had found in 3 years. They have also arrested 46-year-old local Kumar Pakrin. The Sindhuli police have confiscated 874 kilograms of cannabis this year and arrested 31 individuals. They have also filed 23 cases so far. The Hetauda cement industry, fully owned by the government, has begun producing clinker after 4 months. The industry at the moment has 40,000 sacks of cement in store and is selling 5,000 sacks on average per day. With the resumption of the clinker production, officials have halted their 3-month-long protest. Newly appointed Chair Narendra Bhandari has committed of addressing the issue, as some 30 retired staff, including both mandatory and voluntarily retired officers, had been staging protests as the payments had been due since July 2022. The industry has requested for around 1,098 million rupees from the Ministry of Finance to support in regular operation. Time now for international update. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, just before heading to Washington earlier today, said he would hold talks on the next phase of the Gaza war and escalating hostilities on the border with Lebanon, where exchanges of fire with Hezbollah have stoked fears of wider conflict. Iran-backed Hezbollah has been trading fire with Israel since the Gaza war erupted more than 8 months ago. The group has said it will not stop until there is a ceasefire in Gaza. Gallant is due to meet his U.S. counterpart Lloyd Austin and the Secretary of State Antony Blinken during the trip. Earlier in June, the group fired the largest volleys of rockets and drones of hostilities so far at Israeli military sites after an Israeli strike killed the most senior commander yet. Last week, U.S. envoy Amos Hochstein was sent to Israel and Lebanon to try and cool tensions following the increase in cross-border fire, which prompted an escalation in rhetoric on both the sides of the border. Emergency workers are scrambling to reach survivors in northern Gaza after Israeli attacks killed at least 42 Palestinians in Shati refugee camp and the Tufa neighborhood. According to a Red Cross official, the bombings followed an assault on Al-Mawasi camp in southern Gaza that killed 25 people and resulted in a flood of wounded people. Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank tied a wounded Palestinian man to the hood of a military vehicle during a raid in the city of Jenin, appearing to use him as a human shield. An estimated 150,000 Israelis turned out for protests against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government, calling for a ceasefire deal and early elections. At least 37,551 people have been killed and 85,911 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since October 7. The revised death toll in Israel from the Hamas-led attacks stands at 1,139, with dozens of people still held captive in Gaza. Anti-government protesters scuffled with Israeli police in Tel Aviv as officers tried to disperse a crowd gathering near Likud headquarters. Protesters called for an immediate ceasefire in Israel's ongoing war with Hamas. A twin rally was held elsewhere in Tel Aviv, led by families of Hamas hostages who called for their loved ones' release. Demonstrators also rallied to mark the 20th birthday of Nama Levi, who has been held hostage in Gaza since October 7. Israeli police said in a statement that 3 protesters were detained. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. T20 World Cup special up next. Stay with us.